Hello everyone, how are you? Today we are starting paper 1 multiple choice, May-June 2025, okay, physics variant 12, okay. We start with question 1, which says, a pendulum starts swinging and its motion is timed. Okay. The time measured for 20 complete swings is 30 seconds. So this is the number of swings and this is the total time. The question says, what is the time for one complete swing? In general, the time for one complete swing is the total time over the number. So it's going to be 30 over 20. Okay, if you divide, you will get 1.5 seconds. The answer is C. I hope it's clear. Now, question 2, which piece of apparatus is used to determine the volume of irregularly shaped solid? Okay, we know that we're going to use a measuring cylinder. Remember, I have a measuring cylinder with some liquid, water with volume V1. Okay, and I have the stone. I submerge the stone inside it, so the level of water will increase with the stone inside. So this is V2. The volume of the stone is going to be V2 minus V1. Okay, so we use the measuring cylinder. Question 3. A speed time graph is plotted for the motion of a car. Which quantity does the area under the speed time graph represents? Remember, speed time graph. This is the speed and this is the time. Okay, if the graph is like this, for example, they want the area under the line. As we know, it represents the distance, right? I hope you know this. It's option C. Question 4, it says, which quantity is an example of a force? It's weight. Remember, weight is the force of gravity on the object. Now they say 4 hollow glass balls, P, Q, R, and S, each have a volume of 30 cubic centimeter. Okay, the mass of each ball is given in the table. Okay, now they say, which balls will float in a liquid of density? Okay, in order to float on the or inside the liquid of a certain density, I have to calculate the density of each one of them. Okay, so if I calculate the density for P, let's remember density equals mass over volume. Okay, let's find the density for each one of them. For P is going to be 15 over the volume 30, so it is 0.5, okay, gram centimeter cubic. For Q it is 25 over 30, which will give me 0.83 gram over cubic centimeter. For R, it is 35 over 30. I will have 1.17, right? And for S is going to be 45 over 30. The answer is 1.5. Again, the one that will float is the one that has less density, which is basically P and Q. Okay, so the answer is A. I hope it's clear. Okay. Question 6. A car travels at a constant speed along a straight road that has a slight downward slope. The question is, which statement is correct? There is a resultant force on the car downward. No, here there is no resultant force. Okay, why? Because the Speed is constant, which means acceleration equals to 0. Acceleration is 0, which means there's no resultant force. The force will be 0. Okay? Also here there is a resultant force wrong. There's a resultant force wrong. Here they say there is no resultant force correct. Option D. Now, question 7, it says, torque wrench is a tool that ensures nuts or bolts are tightened to the required amount. A mechanic sets the torque wrench to produce a moment of 15 Newton meter. The torque wrench has a length from the center of the bolt to the handle of 600 millimeter. Pay attention here, I have it in meter, so this one it should be change. It's going to be 600 over 1000 to change from millimeter to meter is going to be 0.6 meters, right? The question is, what is the smallest force? Okay, we know already moment equal force multiple distance, right? So if I need the force, is going to be moment over distance. Moment is 50 and the distance is 0.6, right? So the answer will be, I did it before, it is 83 Newton. Okay? I hope it's clear. The next question, 8, they say, the work done, W, by a force is related to the magnitude of the force and the distance moved in that direction. Which equation for the work is correct? We know already work equal force multiple distance. So it is option D. Okay. Question 9. Which energy resource requires a power station with a boiler to produce steam when generating electricity? Not tides, not dams, not wind. We need a coal. Okay, the energy resource that needs a power station with a boiler. Question 10. Scientist heats a solid substance until it turns into a liquid. So from solid to liquid. Then into a gas. Now from liquid to gas. They want which row describe two changes of state when it is heated. Okay, so from solid to liquid, this is melting. We are here or here. The other one is from liquid to gas. It's boiling. Okay, so we are in option D. Question 10, option D, or answer D. Now, question 11, it says, gases can be compressed, but liquids cannot be compressed. Which statement explains this difference? In A, they say each particle in gas is more compressible. The particle itself is not compressible, okay? All of them are compressible. It means like the distance can be released. Like here they say particles in gas are further apart than particles in liquid. Yeah, this is possible. Particles in gas attract each other more strongly than liquid. No, this is wrong. Particles in gas move more slowly than no, so it's option B. Okay. Now, question 12. Fixed mass of gas at a constant temperature is trapped in a cylinder which has a movable piston. Which row states and explains what happens to the pressure of the gas in the cylinder when the volume increases? We know already that pressure and volume are inversely proportional. Remember the graph between them, volume and pressure, they are inversely proportional. Okay, so more volume, less gas, less pressure. It means we are here. The pressure will decrease. We are either in A or B. Now they are asking me the explanation. In A, they say gas particles collide with the cylinder at lower speed. In B, they say collide with the cylinder less frequently. Exactly, less frequently. There will be less collisions, which will cause the pressure to decrease. Okay? Question 13. Which quantity does not change when there is an increase in temperature? The density of the steel block, actually it will change because the volume will change. They're asking for the thing that will not change, so this is wrong. The diameter of the hole, no, this will change. The length of the iron rod, it will change. The mass of the metal, the mass will not change. Okay, remember, mass is the amount of matter. Maybe it becomes like bigger in size, but the same mass. Question 14 says, a person holds an empty glass beaker and pours hot water into it. Okay? Why does it take few seconds before his hand starts to feel hot? In general, glass is a poor conductor. We call it insulator, right? Glass is a poor thermal conductor. This is correct. Let's see B. Water is a poor thermal conductor. There's no conduction in water. It's convection. Glass is better thermal conductor than water. No. Water is better thermal. No. So it's option A. Okay, remember, conduction in solid, convection in fluids, right? Question 15. A liquid is heated and it expands. How does this lead to the formation of convection current? Let's remember, hot particles goes up, cool particles goes down, right? So in A, they say the density of the heated liquid decreases. The density of heated liquid decrease, correct, because the volume will increase, so the density will decrease. Let's read B, the density of the heated liquids increases. No. The mass of the heated, no, the mass doesn't change. Here the mass doesn't change, so it's option A. Now 16 will be our last question. Okay, it says some electric hot plates are metal and don't glow when hot. Other hot plates are glass and have a heater underneath that glows red. The heater makes the glass hot. With both hot plates, there is no air gap between the hot plate and the metal pan placed on the hot plate. Which statement is correct? Okay, we have to read them carefully. They say, the glass hot plate transfer less energy by radiation. No, wrong. Why wrong? Because glass is solid. It's conduction. The glass hot plate transfer energy by convection. Wrong. Okay, the metal hot plate transfer energy by conduction. Correct. Okay, because metal plate, okay, it's a solid. Let's read D. The metal hot plate transfer energy by convection. No. Convection for fluid. So the correct option is C. Okay, I hope it's clear. Please feel free to ask any question in the comments below. Have a nice day. I'll see you in the next video.